Welcome back to another episode of OBB Podcast. I'm here with Williams, of course, myself, Joey Blasio. I should say Khalil Williams.
Yeah, they know who I am.
But we are back with episode 6 now, and it is probably one of our craziest episodes ever. I think it is. I mean, a lot has happened in the last few days around the NFL. Trades, people signing, suspensions. So it's going to be a very exciting episode, very eventful episode, and we're going to get right into it. Big news came out yesterday. Actually, it was the second news.
Second, yeah.
The second thing that happened, the big thing that happened yesterday in the NFL, but we're going to start with it at number one. There is another quarterback heading to the AFC West, joining Mahomes, Herbert, and I'll even throw Derek Carr because he's pretty decent.
Yep.
His name is Russell Wilson. Have you heard of him?
I hate Russell Wilson. I hate him so much.
But
I hate Russell Wilson.
Why do you hate him? Oh, you're not understanding.
No. He's married to my wife.
Oh, I forgot.
She liked the way I ride the beat.
Anyway, so Russell Wilson was traded.
See that video? Damn. He's yeah. Damn.
Russell Wilson was traded from Seattle after spending, I think, 10 or 12 years there. And he is headed to Denver to play alongside Jerry Jeudy and their defense.
Yeah.
But they also have Cortland Sutton on the offense and Javonte Williams. They did trade Noah Fant, their tight end. But they have this, I can never pronounce his last name, but they have a tight end that they're high on. This offense,
I heard of him.
This offense should be stacked. With a guy like Russell Wilson, if he's healthy, if he's playing like himself, he's top-tier quarterback in the NFL. It's a long-ass last name. And their defense is they're young and they're getting better, Shannon. But this team could make some noise. I know it is a stacked division. I would put them over. We're not too far into the offseason yet. We're not even with the free agency yet. But as of right now, I would put them second in their division behind Mahomes, but in front of Herbert.
No, I agree. I think they're second. You look at the offense they have. The only thing they were actually missing last year was a good quarterback, and they still went 7-9. So I think Russell Wilson definitely gets them to – they're definitely second. But I do think they have a chance to have a better record than the Chiefs do. Not to say they'll go farther, but I think in a regular season, I think they could tie or have just as good of a record.
They definitely have a chance because I forgot to mention one guy too, Tim Patrick.
He was on my fantasy team last year.
He came along nicely for them. They gave him the contract during the season, so they do have a big three wide receiver group with the tight end. I'll try to pronounce his name and embarrass myself on TV on the show right now. But I mean,
no, yeah, but definitely the only thing they were missing was a good quarterback. Literally the only thing. The same thing with the Steelers and the Steelers. The only thing they were missing was good quarterbacks, and I think Denver got their quarterback, but now I think 17 games. I'll give them 12-5.
I don't want to get too high on them yet because
I think I'm high on them, man. I think they'll go 12-5.
I'd like to see the transition that Russell Wilson makes after being in Seattle for such a long time. I found the guy's name. They call him Albert O. But if I'm trying to pronounce his name, I'll put it on the screen here. Albert Okwebunam.
Okwebunam.
Something like that. But
Okwebunam.
They like the way he's coming along. I'd like to see how their offensive line is next year. They did draft their center last year in Cushenberry, and they drafted Garrett Bowles a couple years back. He's So, I mean, their offense could look really, really good. I didn't even know they had Travis Fulgham from Philly a couple of years ago. They have KJ Hamler, who is a speed guy. Yeah, this team could be dangerous. Their
No,
defense.
I think they are dangerous, man. Because I mean, this team right now, I would put against, I would put against the Bengals this year, and I think this team would beat the Bengals.
I do too. But the Bengals had a special run in the playoffs.
But I mean, I think Denver's really good, man. I could see them going to the Super Bowl.
And now Von Miller is hinting at coming back to Denver on his Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, he posted a couple stories on his Instagram. Let me check it out real quick. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. But he pretty much said, like, I wonder if they'll let me come back. Like, he said, so what's next? With a picture of him and Russell Wilson.
Ooh. See what's about to happen next, okay?
And yesterday, on his story, where is he at? Von Miller. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, he was hinting about, like, here it is. I wonder if they will give me my old locker back. What a picture of him in a Denver uniform. So I think that looks like he's going back to Denver.
Whoa.
Their secondary is kind of stacked. They could get a few more pieces on that defense in the middle through the draft. But they have Pat Surtain, who's he was a rookie this past season. He's a problem. He was the best rookie cornerback in the draft.
Yep. Problem.
Came on strong during the season. They have Justin Simmons, a great free safety. Kareem Jackson, decent strong safety. And then they have Ronald Darby on the other side. And they have slot corner and Kyle Fuller. I don't know if he'll be there. They have Bryce Callahan. I mean, they got a bunch of guys in that secondary.
I just think this team from top to bottom is so, like, balanced. The defense is good. I'm not going to throw great yet. The defense is good. Their offense could be because when Russell Wilson's on.
Yeah, he's top tier.
When Russell Wilson's on, he is just as good as anybody.
They just hope that he doesn't get hurt because he's been having injuries.
Yeah, I mean, that would throw a wrench in it all. But I just feel like, I mean, I'm not even going to put that much because they had those same issues with Stafford. He went and won the Super Bowl. So I think I'm high on this team, man. I think they could beat the Chiefs. Because it's not like it's not like the NBA where it's a 7-game series where really the best team
it's one game.
It's a one game. And I think if Russell Wilson's on and their defense is on, and they could beat Kansas City because playing Kansas City is an automatic 25-40 at this point in time. Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But I think you know what? I think they're gonna have a better record than the Chiefs will, or a tie.
It's possible. We'll see what type of Chiefs we get next year too.
But let me just say, Russell Wilson, you're a great quarterback. You're a great guy from what we've seen. You're an amazing guy. But Sierra should be mine. You know, I've been a fan of Sierra since I was 10. Ever since she came out with Rise.
Sierra don't date fans, Will.
I'm not a fan.
Anyway.
I am, but it's a different fan. I'm her number one fan.
True.
I bet you Russell Wilson didn't even know half her songs until he met her.
Probably not. Actually, he might have.
I did.
I don't know, but I'd also want to see Russell Wilson's deep ball pause in Denver and the altitude over there because he's got one of the weirdest deep passes in the league where it seems to always look like he overshot it by 30 yards, but it just comes straight down.
That's why, bro, I was watching. Yeah, bro, I love that shit.
So I'd like to see how far he could throw in Denver.
I mean, I think he'll be straight, man. I think he'll be all right.
It might be even more crazy because the altitude over there, I think it's.
I know it's
thinner,
yeah.
So it might go. I don't know. It'll be crazy to watch. I gotta see if he's played in Denver before.
He seems like one of those guys that will figure it out. Because I think he's a smart quarterback too, so I think he'll figure it out.
I keep getting these notifications. Carmelo.
I don't want to hear about the Lakers.
Okay, so we'll move on from that. We're looking forward to a big season from Denver as of right now. And then there was a little bit of news earlier than that yesterday.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Green Bay re-signed Aaron Rodgers. Well, they agreed to re-sign Aaron Rodgers. He made sure that everyone knew that there was no contract yet, but he will be playing for Green Bay once again. The initial report said 4 years, $200 million. I would say it's around there. I don't know if it's going to be 4 years, but he will definitely be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and that's what he wanted. Also, they applied the franchise tag on Davante Adams. He'll be getting about $20 million next year.
Big.
So the boys are back
to go.
And now they have another team that they don't have to dodge in Seattle. So I would say the contenders next year, as of right now, I keep saying that because we're so not even close yet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Green Bay, because Tom Brady retired. So Green Bay, the Rams, and probably the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's looking like it right now. So I think Green Bay has a great chance to finally make it to that damn Super Bowl that they've been wanting.
They're not going to do it.
They might sell, but
they're not going to do it.
So I mean, Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. It looks like he'll retire there. And then I'd like to see what they do with Adams. I think it all depends on this upcoming season. But we knew for sure they were going to tag him no matter what.
As long as Aaron Rodgers is there, he's going to be there.
Right. They were going to tag him no matter what, because you don't let the number one receiver in the league go.
Facts.
But can Green Bay finally make it to where they need to go? Is the question.
Now, before I say that they won't, but before I say that, Aaron Rodgers definitely deserves his bread. Happy he got it. You know, he's obviously an all-time great quarterback. You know, he two-time. Well, not yet. I don't even forgot how many MVPs he won, but basically 2 in the last 2 years.
He has 4.
So he has 4. So 4 MVPs. Definitely deserves every bit of money he got. And Davante Adams, I love watching those two, even though, you know, I don't like Green Bay. But they're the best quarterback receiver combo to me in the league. They're both debatably number one in their respective positions. So, and I'm happy to see a quarterback. You know, it's very rare with everybody moving around and doing all this stuff. It's good to see somebody actually stick with one team and retire.
Yeah.
And I thank the Green Bay organization for not screwing this one up.
Because last year it looked a little crazy.
Because I don't even know how you get to the point where you let Aaron Rodgers be upset about something or make him want to leave.
So this brings up the question, was Jordan Love the most useless first-round draft pick?
I mean, they shouldn't. But honestly, I think at the time, Aaron Rodgers was showing the sign that he wanted to leave.
Well, he was showing signs of slowing down.
Yeah, he was showing signs of. So I wouldn't say it was you. Could they have used it to draft the person they actually was going to use? Yeah, but they were looking at it like before. They were like Aaron Rodgers. He might leave because I think he was upset for like 2 years, but it just all came to a head.
He's also becoming a little bit of a weirdo.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you see all that transitioning. So I think it was a panic pick.
I don't even know what it is. They traded up for him.
They traded, It was definitely a bad pick.
But then he comes back, gets 2 MVPs, no Super Bowl appearance.
You know what happened the first time.
He did not win a playoff game this past year, and the year before that, he lost in the NFC Championship game to Tampa. So we'll see what they could, because they now don't have to face most likely Tampa or Tom Brady, I should say. They don't.
But honestly, I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl anyway.
Who would you see going over them?
Well, the Rams, depending if they get everybody back. And I think San Francisco, depending on what they do at quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see how.
Like if they stick with Trey Lance, and then they're Green. No, I'm not even gonna Sanford. I can't even talk right now. Green Bay got it if they keep Trey Lance, but if they could get, you know, somebody just better than Jimmy G, then I think they could beat them again.
And we'll see how San Fran does next year because San Fran's up and down team over the last few years. Even with the injuries last year, I think they won 4.
Jimmy G's 4 up and down.
Games.
You get a consistent quarterback, they'll be 11-6, 12-5.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a decent quarterback, they'd be one of the most dominant teams in the NFL.
Because their defense won them that game against Green Bay.
Their defense really came along during the season too, because in the beginning of
Because
the year, their
everybody was
defense
hurt,
was not
really.
it.
I mean, Nick Bosa was coming back from the ACL. A lot of our guys were out, but he caught along. He played well this year. He played very great this year. But the playoffs, I think the last half of the season when everybody was right, Ayuk wasn't right the whole year.
They finally got him in because they didn't even want to play him in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, until the last 7 or 8 games or so, he came along strong.
Debo went crazy all year.
Debo deserves to get his bread too.
He'll be getting a max contract
as he should,
a big contract
as
soon.
He should. Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna beat the Rams if everybody comes back.
So we'll move on from that. Another quarterback move. Earlier today, Carson Wentz traded from Indianapolis to the Commanders. I think I saw the report. It was 2 seconds, 2/3.
Yeah, I think it
was 2 seconds, 2/3, and round picks, I should say. And I saw a report. The initial offer was like a 4th and a 6th rounder, but then Indianapolis got their second rounders and third rounders. I don't really understand this move for either side yet. I'll start with the Commanders, the ex-football team.
Second and a third.
I don't know if necessarily the Commanders upgraded at quarterback with getting Wentz over Heineke. They might have upgraded a little bit, but everybody knows that Wentz will not take them to where they want to go. So I don't really understand the move of going out and getting Wentz where you could have just waited on maybe a draft. But maybe they don't like anyone in the draft because the draft class isn't that stacked, or it's not stacked at all, I should say, with quarterbacks. They could have waited maybe to see what's going on with Deshaun Watson. They could have waited and just held Heineke for the year and figured it out after that. But they went and got Wentz. I just don't think he improves their team that much. I like Wentz as a quarterback, kind of, but he's not a crazy culture changer. There was reports out of Indianapolis that they hated his leadership and his role in the locker room, and that's like terrible for a quarterback. And then on the Colts side, I don't really understand it either because now they're stuck with no quarterback. They're stuck with their backup, who was a rookie. I even forget the dude's name. I don't see him doing anything. I remember him from the draft last year, but I can't remember his name. So now they're stuck with no one. There are guys like Garoppolo. Oh, that's another name. Who I could see going to the Colts. I saw that they were going to try to make a heavy push for Jimmy G, but does that upgrade them either? No, I think Wentz might be better than Garoppolo. I'm not sure.
No.
They are a team to look out for on Watson. There's been big talk about Mitch Trubisky coming back and becoming a starter in this league somewhere. I hope it's not the Colts because that would make no sense to get rid of Wentz and get Trubisky. They can maybe draft a quarterback, but I don't think any of these quarterbacks in the draft are ready to start. I saw an update before. Maybe I saw 2 teams are going after Derek Carr, the Colts and the Browns. That's kind of an interesting – we'll talk about that on another episode. But if I'm the Colts right now, I got nobody. I'm stuck in no man's land. I don't think this trade works for either team. I don't understand it.
I mean, I think the Commanders get a little bit better.
A little bit.
I think they get a little bit better. Instead of 7-10, they probably
I think they'll go 7-10 again, something like that. That's Carson Wentz's range.
I don't know because I thought Heineke played okay I thought he played all right. Like he wasn't like horrible. Where like they should have stuck with him the other year. I agree with you 100% on that. But I honestly think they'll probably go. I think they'll go 9-8. I'll give Carson Wentz 2 more games over Heineke.
Well, one of the reasons they might go 9-8, I haven't looked at their
because their division sucks. I mean, I think the Commanders and the Eagles are in the same boat.
I can see that because I don't think the Eagles are really a 9-8 team.
Yeah, it's just the division. Because I mean, shit. I mean, if we're gonna talk about it, the Commanders could beat the Eagles twice, or even once. They'll beat the Giants twice. Yeah, they'll beat the Giants twice. Easily.
We caught them once this year.
They'll beat them twice. I mean, they'll beat them. So you have a chance to get 4 wins off your division alone. There'll definitely be maybe 2 upsets. But I think Carson Wentz is. I don't know, man. I think Carson Wentz. I think he'll upgrade their team to about 9.
It's weird because I could back Carson Wentz. I used to back Carson Wentz every year when everyone was shitting on him in Philly. Then I was like, all right, go watch the Colts in the playoffs. Then they didn't make the playoffs, which a lot of those games were on his late game turnovers. Kind of screwed them over. They sold against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 18. I don't know. I had high hopes for him.
But I just think the only team they're not better than is the Cowboys, obviously. Like, they're the only team you can, like, definitively say they're not better than. Can they catch the Eagles? Yes. Because that was.
But even if so, are they going? The question for them is, could they make like a 7 seed in the NFC playoff or a 6, maybe wild card 6 or 7? They're not doing anything anyway. Carson Wentz probably won't get him there, and if he does, he probably won't win a playoff game. I'm gonna say he definitely won't win a playoff game.
No, he's definitely not going to win a playoff game. But I think he could get him there. I think he'll be second. Honestly, I think they're going to be second in that division. I think they're a little bit better than the Eagles are.
Another important thing about this trade is Washington will now take on Wentz's salary. They actually took it, so it's $28 million this year.
Sheesh.
Heavy for a Carson Wentz. Heavy for a quarterback named Carson Wentz.
Yep.
As a Giant fan, I don't mind it. I'm down to see Carson Wentz again twice a year.
You're gonna lose.
I don't care. Okay, so I mentioned a few names before. We have Jimmy Garoppolo, who is going to be traded. That's what San Fran is saying. Deshaun Watson, we're still waiting on the 22 cases. And this name out of nowhere, Mitch Trubisky, he served as a backup in Buffalo for a year under
Josh Allen,
my new coach Daboll, and behind Josh Allen. So people are like, "Oh, Mitch Trubisky
he learned so much."
So I got a few ideas of where I think these guys could land. I'll give a few teams each player.
Go ahead.
Garoppolo, which makes sense for me if he was to be traded. The Colts now because they don't have a quarterback.
Yep.
I can see him going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They have Mason Rudolph. Jimmy G.
No, I'm playing. I'm joking.
Those are the first 2 teams that come to mind.
I don't like Jimmy G.
Then we have Deshaun Watson. I don't know if he will be playing next year.
I think that's so wrong.
But
that he's not on the team. Or, like, I don't think he's, like, we're talking about where people are going to go. I don't think he's going to play a game this year again, which is just totally wrong because he wasn't, to my knowledge.
We can't say that yet.
What do you mean?
We can't say it's wrong yet.
It is wrong for right now because he's not convicted yet. All these are just allegations for right now.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, he can't play right now. I think he got suspended.
No, yeah, I get it. But, I mean, if you get suspended for something that you didn't even get proven to do.
Well, another thing was he was going to sit out the year anyway. And
I get it, but I mean, I just think because no matter what happens, if it's true, then it's horrible. He gets whatever he deserves coming to him. If all this stuff that's being said is true, but if it's not true,
wasted a year.
He wasted a year, and you might waste because time moves on. Yeah. Time doesn't wait.
Yeah.
Especially you wait 2 years, you got the quarterback from Alabama coming out in a couple years, or maybe it's next year, right?
From Bama?
Yeah.
What was the kid's name?
Young.
Oh, Bryce Young. Yeah, 2 years, I think.
2 years. So time moves on. New quarterbacks emerge. Time goes on. So he could actually not have a job anymore, because I mean, sexual assault. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. Like, obviously, if it's true, he gets whatever's coming to him. But if it's not true, his reputation, from no matter whether if it could get proven that it never happened, his reputation will never be the same. His reputation will never be the same. But as we're talking right now, he hasn't been proven of anything yet. He hasn't been proven of anything yet. So the fact that I know that you said he was gonna sit out regardless, but the fact that he probably won't get a job for probably 3 to 4 years at worst. At worst, 3 to 4 years, because it's sexual assault, man. It's not like this isn't like a petty this is rape, basically. Like, so even if he settles or even if he loses the case, because I think right now it's a civil case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, civil case meaning like you won't get jail time, you just gotta pay him. But if he loses, he probably won't have a job for like 5 years.
If he loses, I don't think he'll ever get a job again.
He won't ever get a job again. But I mean, as of right now, it's like, and no team's gonna want to take that chance to signing him, and then he gets proven that he did it. So he's not. I don't think he'll be anywhere this year.
But if he were to be somewhere, I think
he should go to Pittsburgh.
I think Pittsburgh is an opportunity. I think this might sound a little crazy because they did draft a quarterback last year, but if they had the chance, I think San Fran might be a place
I would want him on the 49ers.
Miami is definitely a place to look at.
I would want him on the 49ers, but I think he would be very, very. I think he'd do very well in Pittsburgh.
And I also want to say the New York Giants. It's just a place where I think that they're gonna need a quarterback.
Nah, I don't want him to go to the Giants because if they suck, they're gonna be like. Then it gives the NFL an excuse to not have him in the league. I don't want that shit to happen. I want him to go to at least a solid team, because if he goes to the Giants, they go 4-13 again, or 5-12 again, or go 5-12. Even they could go 500. They could probably go 500. I don't want nobody like, if he didn't do it, I don't want there to be an excuse to not have him in the league. Because if he gets signed to the Giants this year and they suck again, his career is really over.
I mean, if he did it.
Even if he didn't, like, because they're looking for any, even if he didn't, people are still going to not believe that he didn't do it. Whether he gets proven he did it or not. There are going to be fans that are like, he shouldn't be on the team because of what he did, or what he was accused of. But right now, he hasn't been convicted of anything. He hasn't lost the case yet. And we don't even know if it's true or not. We're just going off opinions. But the fact is, he hasn't been proven guilty yet. So as of right now, he should be on the team. I hate when people jump the gun and just like automatically assume just because somebody says something is true.
You just mentioned something that sparked my mind. We mentioned Pittsburgh for him. There was reports a few months ago that him and Brian Flores, the ex-Miami head coach, wanted to play and go to the same team. And now Flores ends up as like a linebacker coach in Pittsburgh. I don't know if that could sway him there. If Flores gets a head coaching job next year, or he gets a bigger job next year, if Watson's available, does he go there? That could be interesting. Now, the guy we shouldn't be talking about, but we are, Mitchell Trubisky. A few spots I think he could land. They're talking about him backing up Daniel Jones on the Giants, competing for the starting job, which he wouldn't get, but backing up Daniel Jones. Maybe the Colts, but like, why would would you do that to yourself? But this guy's name out of nowhere is like he's really that guy to go get. I do understand it kind of, because
NFL teams, he was a backup for a fucking reason.
Teams need bridge quarterbacks if they are in the situation where they can't go and draft a guy that they really like, so they just get Trubisky for a year and then get rid of him. But that's all I got. Do you have any other places these guys could go? Or
I didn't get a chance to say Jimmy G, but Jimmy G, definitely the Colts. He needs as much help as possible to cover his mistakes. So Pittsburgh would be perfect for him because they have Claypool. They got I forgot his name.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, him, and the running back.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee Harris. I could not remember.
And then they have they may or may not have Juju. He's gonna be a free agent again. I mean, if he's there.
But if he's there, he's a threat. So he needs to go to a team that
He needs to go to a
help
team
him.
that has a good offensive line, a good receiving core, and a good defense.
Yeah,
San Fran Niners.
Yeah, so he needs to find a team like that because if you think he's gonna take average
and a good running game
receivers, if you're gonna take average receivers to the promised land, it ain't gonna happen.
That's another thing why I was really pissed off about the Colts. Their best receiver is Michael Pittman. He had a pretty damn good year last year, but there's no one else on that team to throw the ball to, and they got rid of Wentz like that.
Yeah, so I mean,
Wentz does go into a better situation offensively. I think
he does. That's why I think they'll go.
Well, not offensively with his receivers.
No, but I think they're better. Like I think they'll definitely go 9-8.
Because their running game is not.
I can see them winning 10 games this year.
I can't.
Not
maybe 10.
Maybe like that. Like best case scenario. I can see it happening.
They do have better receivers. They have Terry McLaurin, who's just.
No, I said I could see it. I'm not saying it could happen. I could see them winning 10 games. I don't think it's gonna happen.
They don't have They have Antonio Gibson, who's good. They don't have a Jonathan Taylor. They don't have the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't think they have. I'm not even gonna mention defense because once. Anyway,
but Trubisky, I don't really care where he goes. To be honest, he's gonna suck.
Yeah,
like I don't care where he goes, honestly. But I mean,
so then it leaves
probably Miami.
Maybe to back up Tua, but like
probably, I guess.
I don't even know
maybe
who
Chicago
wants
again.
This guy. I don't even know who would want this guy. No, Chicago's got their guy. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, shit.
And then that leads us to there's a few teams out there that won't have their guy. They'll have a Mitchell Trubisky or they'll have even a Marcus Mariota. His name's coming out of nowhere too.
I haven't heard of him since he was in college.
So. There's teams that may look to draft. Well, I mean, teams will draft quarterbacks in the first round of this year's draft. There's guys like Malik Willis.
See, I think he could be a problem.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, depending on where he goes.
He has a great deep ball, and he's very raw as a very raw talent. But he went to Liberty, so he's not like he didn't play in the SEC, like on Bama or And he also has shown to be inaccurate. But like him and the dude from Pitt, and I'm drawing a blank because I'm a dumbass. Help me out here real quick. Why am I so? Oh, Kenny Pickett. Are like the top two guys in this draft. And first of all, my opinion is that neither of these guys are ready to start, and I don't think either of these guys are better than Mitch Trubisky. I think that's why his name is being talked about so much. I don't see any team leaping for them. They will get drafted in the first round. I see this has like Malik Willis going too. I don't think it happens. I could see the Lions. They do have the 31st pick, and maybe they'll try to grab like Matt Corral from UNC with the 31st pick if they like him enough. But I don't think either of these guys are worth the second pick in the draft. I don't think they're either top 10 pick in the draft. I just don't think so. I can see Houston. They have multiple picks, I believe. Houston might be able to.
I mean, Houston definitely should draft a quarterback.
But they
definitely.
But like,
definitely,
you don't want to reach 1 year with the third pick, ruin it, and he's not good, and then have.
I mean, I think we could
same situation the year after.
I think we could both be in agreement that no matter who they draft, they're gonna suck.
That's true.
So take that. I'll take the risk, man.
What teams I could see drafting quarterbacks? I'll give them like in the first 2 rounds. I can see Detroit drafting a quarterback. I could see Houston. I could see the Colts. I could see Pittsburgh. Maybe I think Pittsburgh might try to snag.
But I think the Colts should take that chance because they need something to.
They've been waiting on a quarterback, right? That whole organization has said, we're a quarterback away from contending in the AFC and the whole NFL. But they've been on that one quarter. They had Luck, but then after Luck, they went. They went Rivers and Wentz, which Rivers was on his last leg and Wentz didn't pan out. Other teams I could see drafting?
No, but Malik Willis Houston should definitely go for Malik Willis. Definitely.
I think if Houston went for Malik Willis, they gotta either try to find a way to trade up into the middle of the first round because I don't like reaching for these quarterbacks this year. I really don't.
Because, see, I mean, that's the point. Like, we kind of do draft off potential.
I could see
so what's his potential? Like, what do you think the best case scenario for him would be?
I think Malik Willis is ceiling is like mid-tier quarterback in the NFL, like lower, like 20th ranked quarterback starter in the NFL, like
So
not
like
great.
a Kirk Cousins type, not play style,
Not play style, but
mid.
I don't even think as good. Like I really don't.
I don't know, but if I'm a team, man, I'm draft. I mean, if I'm not a team, but if I'm them,
Houston has to do something at quarterback.
they have to do something.
Another team mentioned here is Tampa Bay. I don't see them drafting a quarterback because they did draft the dude out of Florida. I'm drawing so many blanks because I'm not in draft mode yet, but when I am, I'm going to be hot. Kyle Trask from Florida last year. They drafted in the second round. You know, they might be one of those teams to go out and get like a bridge quarterback for a year and then try to draft. They're going to be an interesting team to watch.
It's gonna be
See, this is what I'm
like,
saying.
I think they'll.
Detroit got the Rams pick, which is the 32nd pick because they won the Super Bowl. I said if they were going to draft quarterback, trade this pick, move up to like 12 or like 15, and try to draft one there, not 2.
No, but I mean, did you think Baker was the first overall pick? Or like his talent at the time was first overall?
Yeah, it definitely was. I thought he was going to go like second, third, or something like that, but he was definitely a first overall pick, his talent wise. He was.
People were upset he went first.
Yeah, because there was guys like Darnold and
even
Josh Allen, but he wasn't even that highly ranked that year. I think he went seventh to the Bills.
So I'm saying
Josh Rosen.
But so basically people were upset, but I think they saw his swag, like the swag he had, like the confidence he had, and that's what
he also played at an Oklahoma team.
And then they needed to do something. Like they needed to put butts in seats.
Because Cleveland before Baker was
horrible,
the worst team ever.
Yeah, but they felt like they had to do something. Houston right now has to do something because they suck and they have this case over their head.
And I really don't like.
So
they not draft.
So I feel like they're going to draft a quarterback so you could forget about the other quarterback.
They hired a new coach, Lovie Smith. Don't like the signing at all. He's been in the NFL. He coached the Bears for a while. Then he went down to college. I don't think he's the right guy.
But I mean, what is the right guy for a horrible team?
And I was gonna say anybody who goes there is going to have a terrible time.
Exactly.
But yeah, these quarterbacks, it'll be very interesting to see where they are drafted. Teams to look at, to keep an eye on during the draft. Maybe Lions, Pittsburgh, Colts. This is before all the free agents do. Tampa Bay, Houston. I would have said Denver, but not anymore. I would have said Washington, but not anymore. So yeah.
But no, but seriously, I'm Houston. I'm jacking that situation. Like I would definitely take the quarterback second.
It's just like who? Which one? It could be Pickett. It could be Willis. It could
whatever one you want. You got to get Deshaun Watson's because right now the whole season was basically about Deshaun Watson. So if they take the risk on this quarterback and it pans out, people have quick attention span, so they're not going to think about Deshaun Watson no more.
Right, and then
if they show, I'm not saying they have to go to go to the playoffs, but if they show sign of improvement and the quarterback's the reason why, I think Deshaun Watson won't be the talk of the town because they need to
it'll be their new quarterback.
They
but
need to
why,
get something that's
why top 3 picks are crazy to think about when you're drafting a quarterback, because if you fuck up, you just lost another 5 years.
But they're not going to be good anyway in 5 years. So I would take the risk.
We will see what happens with these quarterbacks. And we will be talking about the draft a lot more as we get closer and closer. Because I am like a draft fanatic. It's like one of my favorite times of the year besides March Madness, which is like next week, which I'm also hyped about. And then there wasn't great news 2 days ago or 3 days ago for the Atlanta Falcons. Not quarterback, but their leading receiver, Calvin Ridley, was caught gambling on his own team when he was sitting out for mental health reasons. He definitely could have been sitting out for mental health reasons, but it's not a good look to be gambling on your own team while you're sitting out. In the NFL, you can't gamble on the NFL at all, especially not your own team. So now Calvin Ridley will be going from star receiver to sitting a whole year.
Oh my gosh, man. How stupid can you be?
Sorry to interrupt you. That leads me to another thought. Atlanta, keep an eye out for Atlanta in the draft with the quarterback too, because now it kind of changes my look at Matt Ryan. I think he's still pretty decent, but without Calvin Ridley, there's like nothing to happen. So keep an eye out for Atlanta. But also, Ridley been suspended for a year. Top tier wide receiver talent, top tier route runner, and now he's suspended for a year. But he only did bet $1,500.
It's not funny, but it made me laugh. Like, number one, NFL, you're going to be hearing a lot more of this. I'm going to just let you know that right now. If you don't think guys are betting on themselves, like even their individual stats, you got another, like they're definitely betting on themselves. Like if you don't think, well, not if you don't think, because I don't ever want to accuse somebody of something they won't do. They're not doing. But if I'm a guy like fucking Devontae Adams, you bet, and then you wouldn't bet on yourself to have over 10 receptions.
Like, yeah, actually, one of the games he bet on was he bet on Atlanta to beat Jacksonville, and they did. He actually won.
Yeah, but like that's like the stupidest thing of all time. Like at least if you're gonna get suspended, at least win $5 million.
So the report says Ridley was reportedly caught after traveling to Florida, where he used the only legal betting app in the state. It was later flagged by a group that the NFL pays to monitor player gambling. Allegedly, Ridley did bet on a Falcons game, which he did.
But like, number one, you bet on your own team. That might like
you could have had someone else bet for you.
Exactly. You bet but
and you are right. All these players are doing it, but they're not dumb enough to do that.
Exactly. Like if you you're gonna be hearing a lot of these things come out now more than ever because it's like it's easy money to be made. Like I said, if Devontae Adams is a guaranteed over 8 receptions. Cooper Kupp is a guaranteed over 80 yards.
Yeah.
If you don't think they're betting on themselves, you got to know
they're
definitely betting on themselves. But but guys, fake accounts, pull a KD. Different names. Use a different name. Put your mom's name on it. Can their parents bet on games, or is it just a collective?
I'm not too sure about that. I don't think their family can bet on them either.
Well, okay, because I was about to say because their family doesn't sign a contract, but whatever.
But yeah, it's like if my mom wants me to drop 2 passes because she bet me on under, like it's ruining the game.
But it's like betting periods are going to ruin the game no matter what.
I think sports betting already is ruining sports.
It's definitely ruining the game because now it gives now you can look at anything and actually say maybe he threw it.
You see, I mean, once you start betting, you actually notice a lot of things.
Exactly, it's because
sports betting has always been around.
It's always been around forever. Think about it, team sports bet technically, and teams because what do you think incentives are?
Yeah,
it's and the incentives because if a player has if a player is supposed to hit maybe 100 threes in a season and they're at 98 and somehow they don't play the last game of the year, what do you because for whatever reason?
That's how it happens every time.
But definitely,
we saw
the betting's gonna ruin the integrity of the game, no matter what. Because you look at
all of these players know their lines, by the way.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Like you look at a night like tonight. Well, LeBron. Not to ever say LeBron would do something because I think he's one of the ones who wouldn't do it. He's in that group who wouldn't do it. But if you look at tonight, he had a layup to tie the game, and he passed it out. That's why didn't he take the layup? It's a drastic way of thinking, but you got these extremists.
There was also a night, maybe a month ago when they played Portland, they lost when he hit that 3 to only lose by 1 or whatever. His point in that was over under whatever, over under I think 28.5 or something, and that 3 at the buzzer that he hit the pointless 3 put him on the.
No, yeah, but just in the fact that Calvin Ridley you would like it's if you would take the risk of losing your contract, you would take the risk of getting like suspended for a year because of $1,500. Really?
Yeah,
Really?
and like also like you have so
Really?
much money. If you are gonna bet on your team, drop the fucking hammer on. No,
You don't even need to bet.
put the fucking hammer on.
You don't even need to bet. And if you were gonna get caught, like you said, if I'm gonna get caught, at least I'm going to win $100 million.
I feel like it's weird that he wanted to bet on his team. Like I don't.
But that's like the dumbest shit. Like at least bet on another team, like to make it look.
At least he was betting on his team, so he was still rooting for them, you know.
But I just don't get it, man. You fight so hard to make it to the league, and these people, I mean, they just do stupid shit, bro. It's dumbass shit. Like, it's shit like this. So stupid. So stupid.
Oh, you know what? I just realized
so
something.
stupid.
Just realized something quickly to add into the Russell Wilson trade. Seattle's starting over completely because they did just released like one of the best middle linebackers ever in Bobby Wagner. They just let him go. He's probably going to go to a team try to win. Denver could be a possibility. I mean, he could go anywhere, but he will not be on Seattle anymore either. After I think he was there for like 14.
No, he was there for a minute.
So they doing a rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's probably where.
I guess that's another team to look in the draft.
That's probably where Trubisky's gonna go.
Oh no, I mean they did get Drew Lock.
Oh yeah,
but like he sucks too. I don't know.
Suck.
See, like that's the guy that the year that Haskins, Daniel Jones were drafted, he was a guy that teams didn't reach on. Teams could have easily said, "Fuck it." Like there's a lot of reports: Giants, Drew Lock, 6-pick Lock.
But at the time, it's like Daniel Jones wasn't supposed to go that high either.
He wasn't supposed to go that high.
They took a risk because they needed to replace.
That's the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, at least like, but I don't think he's completely ruled out though. Like, I don't think
he's got one more year.
I don't think he's like completely like horrible.
I don't think he's horrible
either. I don't think he's horrible. I mean, you look, all his receivers were out and hurt, and
not as
everybody
good as
wasn't.
People think
their offensive line
sucks.
I mean, you
gotta. Was averaging 40
but see, that's what I'm saying. I hate when people.
Their defense played terrible this year.
Like people throwing the towel too quickly, or people's perspectives.
I always say that you gotta give the quarterback 3 to 4 years. And then you could change perspective.
Not even 3 to 4 years, but like if you have the right pieces and they still suck, then that's the quarterback. But that's even in the same case with Lamar too.
I think Lamar's got pretty good pieces around him. He's got a good running game.
He has a good running game, but he technically is the running game.
I mean, yeah, but he had a bunch of guys come in and do because his offensive line is pretty damn good.
No, it's good,
his
but
defense is pretty damn good.
I'm just saying it's not to the extreme of Daniel Jones. I'm not comparing their situations by any means, but just like at least give him a good wide receiver or a really good wide receiver, and then let me see what happens. Because then if he still plays the same, all right, I'll shut up. But if you see any slight difference.
Oh, I saw, now we're just talking, but I saw on Instagram today, 10 years ago, it was, I think Washington traded up to second to draft RG3.
Yeah.
Am I crazy for saying RG3 before the injury was better than Lamar Jackson?
No.
I think he run a little less because Lamar is like one of the greatest running quarterbacks ever, if not the greatest. Over Mike Vick.
No.
But RG3 could actually pass.
Tough.
RG3 was deep ball like no one else.
No, you're not crazy to think that. You're not crazy.
I actually think RG3 was better. Like before he got injured.
RG3 was tough. RG3 was tough. But anyway, I mean, I wouldn't rule out Daniel Jones completely because he hasn't had help.
Well, this is it.
He hasn't
got one more year to prove himself.
But it sucks because he's still not gonna have help.
I know.
So it's like you.
Well, we'll see.
It's one of those. It's one of those tough situations, man. It's tough.
I wonder what we're gonna do at wide receiver 3. We gotta figure that out.
Calvin Ridley's free.
He's playing this year. You know, there was reports that like Giants might actually try to trade for him, and then damn, you know, like.
Bro, it's just so stupid, bro. $1,500. $1,500. Really? You get a chance to play in the NFL, make millions of dollars, change your family's life, and you do stupid shit like this.
And I don't want to.
It's like.
I don't want to bring it up, but like he said, I gotta believe that he did sit out for mental health. But there was reports saying like the Falcons already knew when he bet on them. So they told him he had to sit for the rest of the year.
So they thought they were just gonna cover it.
Yeah.
See, and this is another thing that makes because some athletes, they definitely deal with them like a mental health thing where they definitely need a break. But it's stuff like this that gives athletes and mental health a bad name.
Yeah, there's a lot of this.
Like athletes and mental health, because obviously the outside looking in, you're like, what do they need to be upset about? Like, they make millions of dollars. All they got to do is just go out there and throw a football, score a touchdown, or just shoot a basket. Nah, but when that life shit hit, life is horrible for the richest person too. It's bad for a rich person too, because if this is a drastic case, but if you look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, right? When he said he needed the mental health break for whatever reason it was for, there's certain shit that people go through in a childhood that still affects people now.
He was another bad look for him too, though, because then he went out.
No, yeah, he went out. I get it, but but it's like that. It's like we don't know what these people's individual lives are. You just see the good parts of it, unless they get arrested.
I actually know what happened. So I think with depression, right? Hold my mic. Actually, give me your mic. I gotta use both hands. So with depression, there's like, it's in the brain, right? So it's like some shit where it's like these like wires, right? They all come together to meet.
Yeah.
And like what happens with it, the depression is like they separate, and like the reason they separate is like the lack of serotonin. You know what the serotonin shit is?
For me.
Serotonin's like something in your head. Look at me trying to be a scientist. Something in your
yeah, I don't
brain.
know where you're going with this,
it releases like, it's like I lost myself, dumbass joke. It's like if serotonin, like if you see like a dog do something cute and you get that feeling, or like you like get like a flashback, like you and your boys drive down, watch the sunset, and maybe if that's something you did, right?
I ain't never do that.
And it just like reminds you about, you get that like serotonin. So
all this to say,
kind of really might have
Thank you, Joe, for wasting 2 minutes of my life saying absolutely nothing.
Cut that out. Whoa. No. All right. Definitely cut that out. Actually, I probably won't.
Nah, definitely cut that shit out. I wasted 2 minutes of my damn life talking about bullshit. I thought you was gonna really say some shit too.
No, yeah. So it's like,
I was ready for you to say some shit that made me go, "Oh damn."
No, yeah. So pretty much they get separated, and that's why people need like sometimes they need medicine to get them back in and like attach them.
But that's beyond the point, man. They just giving like even Ben Simmons right now is looking like, it's all these people like, it's looking bad for athletes and mental health. It's looking bad for.
I mean, mental health. It's like there's so many things. Like I suffer from anxiety. People suffer from depression. There's so many different things, and like there's so many disorders. So mental health could really mean anything.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these athletes are going through a depressive state, and I could see one of the reasons why being like
lifestyle, and even in personal lives.
Like a lot of these athletes, like they have such big lifestyle changes because they go from maybe not doing so well early in their life to going to a big school and then to millions of dollars on a big team, or they've just been like great their whole life. They were always healthy, rich, well, not rich, but like in a great position, and they never really felt anything that like.
And what do you think? Like even these guys that come from the hood, they seen so much shit on the daily that changes them.
Mm-hmm.
So like imagine you're in the NFL and you just get a call saying your best friend was just shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
Or like somebody you know was shot and killed. That takes a toll.
It takes a toll.
It takes a major toll. So when people are like, well, he shouldn't have anything to complain about, people forget most of these dudes who are in the NFL and in the NBA are from the hood. Like, so like they have people like that have been killed that have been going to jail. All people they know. So that definitely takes a toll on
Fuck
you.
their mom.
LeBron. Damn. That definitely takes a toll. That definitely takes a toll on. That definitely takes a toll on somebody.
I told you I'd be fucking awake in 2 hours.
No, but that takes a toll on anybody. But Calvin Ridley, this was and that mental health. See now that
he's a player, right? Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Quarterbacks are different. Quarterbacks, everyone needs a quarterback. Not everybody. Receivers come and go like this.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
No, but he's stupid as hell. $1,500? Really?
I would have dropped the bag. I would have dropped like.
Bro,
millions.
if I was in the NFL, the minimum I'm betting is 50,000. The minimum I'm betting is 50,000. That's like the minimum I'm a bet. Especially if I'm him, like a guy like him. Shit, I'm betting 50,000 out. Aaron, shoot.
He probably tried to bet small so they didn't catch him. But they caught him anyway.
But he probably used his own phone.
And name and social and phone number and email. Like, dumbass.
Like, so stupid. NFL guys, use a friend. Use your
friend. Bet at all, please.
Use your friends. If you're
sports.
gonna vote. If you're gonna bet, use your friend's phone. Use your friend's email. Make up an email on your friend's phone. People gotta be smart.
Get burners.
If you're gonna do some illegal shit, don't do dumbass shit to get caught. Jesse Smollett.
I don't want to start talking about
this.
All right, yo, that's gonna do it for us.
He's gonna say 2 white dudes beat him up.